Um, Hi everybody, I hope you're fine. Thanks for attending, or not directly attending, maybe through the recording of the webinar. This last webinar before the summer break, and I'm Sabrina Bulto. I'm the CEO and co-founder of BeConnect, and I'm going to share with you today how to communicate in the new normal life. First of all, you need to understand your environment, of course, but most of all the impact of the COVID-19 on people, behaviors, and communication. So let's start with some insights. 50% of consumers think that brands should not communicate as usual during the COVID-19 crisis. And globally, 2 in 3 of people say the way a brand responds to the COVID-19 crisis will impact their likelihood to buy from that brand in the future. So what does that mean? That means that the way you have been communicating since the beginning of the crisis, the way you are communicating today will be really important and even critical, and will have an impact on your business within the next months and even years. 94% of people have changed their behavior due to the COVID-19 outbreak. So that means nearly everybody has been impacted and nearly everybody has changed his behavior. So that means that you should also change yours and understand in which way those different behaviors have changed and adapt yourself, of course, any communication. Today, people want brands to reprioritize and adapt to the new normal life. What does that mean? That means that they can understand that some company may have to close non-essential store, for instance, but they want also the same companies are going to close some store to invest in digital and to, I will say, invest in a new project, a new way of doing business, a new way of connecting with its audience, and a new way of selling its products or services. People are looking also for flexibility, of course. So company should offer flexible payment terms because, of course, we have to consider not only, I will say, the sanitary crisis, but also the economical crisis that we may have now. And so we have to keep in mind that people may have some issue to pay the bill at the end of the month. And so that company should be there also to help the customer and adjust and be flexible regarding that. Definitely some company like car sellers or stuff like that really need to have this financial approach to sell more today than they used to. Brands also, people want also brand to produce essential supplies. But what is important is to understand that essential supplies evolves within the global, I would say, crisis and the different phases. For sure, when we were at the beginning of the crisis, we were at the bottom of the Maslow pyramid. That means that people were just willing to have to secure their basic needs, that's to say food, but also toilet paper, or this kind of stuff. Then they moved to all this kind of essential needs, essential supplies. And now today, with a new life, new normal life, they need also new stuff. And so you have also to adapt to their needs and the evolution of these needs. 78% of consumers believe that brands should help them in their daily deconfined lives. So you have to understand that today is not yet the new normal is not the last normal, and that lots of stuff have evolved. And today we are in deconfined, but we still have some constraint, and everything is not fixed today. We may have new people. That may have the COVID. We may have some some peaks, some bursts during the summer, this kind of stuff, and even in September. So we have to be there and to be flexible and to help them with this evolution of life and behaviors that definitely has impact on people and consumers. And well, what key stuff also is to understand that this evolution within the behaviors will stay. And for instance, consumers who might have been hesitant to embrace online shopping previously have now tried it and experienced the benefit, so will unlikely revert to the old patterns. So you have to keep that in mind, of course. For instance, there is over 15% of acceleration for online penetration in the home furnishing space. And definitely all this kind of space which was not directly, I would say, addressed by digital previously will be definitely today directly linked to the digital evolution, and should be, of course, all the communication strategies should be adapt also to this new digital ecosystem. During the COVID global crisis, there was a huge usage of social media and the huge increase in total messaging. Messaging was really, really key. Not text messaging, but also voice and video calling were really important. And so they doubled during that period. That means that of course, today, people with the deconfinement want to have more real contact and direct link with people, but they will still use a lot those messaging application, and they will also definitely be more and more open to have direct conversation and connection with brand by using messaging application. So you also have to be ready for that, what we call the conversation marketing. So the main learning are that the COVID-19 brings changes in consumer behaviors and expectation, but also has changed how brands should communicate and also change how people express themselves. During this specific period, people are more eager and open to share their personal concerns, their personal life, their authentic life. And so it's really important also to have in mind this authenticity approach. And definitely COVID-19 has a huge impact on digital. And so now definitely every strategy should start from digital at all the stage of this strategy. You have also one key learning is that we are not in a fixed situation. Everything is evolving, and the behaviors and the way people are acting are evolving with the different phases of the COVID-19. So when we look at the global timeline, people are rapidly embracing new digital connection because they have to, and they have to work at home and to buy stuff directly online, so they have to. Then people are turning their concern into acts of care. And then they were looking to companies for leadership, because I would say the first needs were addressed, and then they need to be inspired and to have, I would say, a new vision and a new message in one way. And so they were looking for purpose and leadership. And now people are adjusting to their new normal life while anticipating their next normal, because we know that the way we are living right now today maybe will not be the final new normal life. Everything can still evolve a lot, and so we have to be prepared to that. So what is the strategic approach to be efficient today within this new normal life? And first of all, you have, yes, to rethink your communication. The key to successfully keeping your business during this difficult time is well thought out and well-timed communication. So that means that you have to build for the rhythm of people and the rhythm of the crisis also. The way we communicate and we act during the lockdown is definitely the way we have to now communicate to create the new normal. And so that means we have to be agile during the outbreak, and now progressively to install the new normal. You first have to focus on communications that maintain continuity, connection with your audience. Definitely at this time, you have to be authentic, proactive, and focus on customer services, customer care, of course. Then you have to maintain trust and affinity to capture bounce back, and work on what I will call the 3A pillars. That's to say, assurance, that's to say, build positive sentiment and confidence in customer. Assistance, it is anticipating what people want to talk about and buy. Action is definitely curate, personalize, and share positive experience. And then now, what is really critical is to plan the path to recovery and make a structural announcements, to have also a really flexible approach regarding all your marketing investment, and of course, I would say buy media that are agile, that you can switch on and switch off, where you can change your message if needed in a really easy and quick way. You have to adjust brand message to meet consumer where they are, and so it will be really important to understand where they are. They are still consuming a lot, of course, online, so you should be there. But they also want I would say, live the true and normal life, as I to say, in the real world. So also make the link between the bridge between digital and real world will be really important today. And of course, you have to plan ahead with an eye toward innovation, of course, because this boost in digitalization and all the investments that have been made to adapt to this specific context and to these new behaviors will have an impact and an acceleration on lots of innovation on digital, of course. But you also have to keep an eye on the curve evolution, because if we have too many cases, a huge peak, we may have to maybe lock down part of cities or part of the country or little communities, I would say. So keep an eye on it. Today, what is really critical is that you have to focus on the message, not on your brand. Branding and is definitely not about you, it's about them. And today more than ever, and even more than before, this is the brand that embrace this mentality that are winning, we're gonna win. And it was already the case before COVID-19 crisis. For instance, brand like Whereby or Wish already definitely have a different approach and really focus on people and not the brand itself. You have to stand out and stand up. That's to say, you have to emerge in an overwhelmed ecosystem. And to do so, you have to create ideas which are built for where people are and built to draw people in. That means that, first of all, you have to think mobile. It's really important. And this study from Facebook shows us that if you use, for instance, a video, which is really created and crafted for mobile, you're gonna have a better performance than using a traditional one, as that's to say, 16:9 format with that overlay, with that text, and so on. And this is 48% of ad recall and view time for the mobile first assets. This is only 23% for the traditional narrative. Of course, you can do an in-between by just adapting an existing content to mobile content, but it will be less efficient if you really craft it from the beginning for mobile. You have also to have a test and learn approach and iterate and create different kind of content to be able to touch different kind of people, but also to have the ability to really leverage the different placement offered by the platform. And so the more you will be able to develop different assets, the more you will be able to improve performance. For instance, it's 11 times average variance in errors between top and bottom performing creative. That's to say, for instance, if you have 40 different assets, the difference between the more efficient one and the less efficient one, you may have a ratio of 11 times. You have to build ideas for the moment that mattered. It's really important to have this also in mind. What does that mean? That means, for instance, seasonal happy moments, where during the summer period, people want to enjoy this specific period, want to be in holidays and enjoy the holiday. And they for sure will be really eager to enjoy also end of year moments and all those key moments, back to school one, etc., etc. It's also important to identify what I will call together moment, key moments, like for instance, the World AIDS Day, and to really create contents that are shaped for this kind of moment, or to have a more focus on really key life moments, like for instance, pregnancy or this kind of stuff. Just to show you example of content that can be efficient. And as you can see, it's really crafted for mobile. you have the full screen format, you have all these overlays. This is the way to really be efficient. Another example with the word education. So that means that, of course, video is the most efficient format. So if you can favor video, it's cool. But if you cannot do a shooting or this kind of stuff, you can do also video formats, which are not shoot, but just using cool words and fonts and to make dynamic stuff. And it can be also really, really efficient. To be efficient today also, I mentioned that you have to leverage as much as possible the global, I would say, the different placement offered by the platform. And so it's important also to build mix assets to connect also with different placement, but different kind of consumption. People may be happy to see content that are here just to entertain them, and so they may be really keen to engage with a more playful content. Other people will prefer direct content that will just gonna do the pitch of the project. And some other people who may have an interest, for instance, for your brand, your universe, or your message, may want to have a more immersive experience because they are really interested, so they want to dive in a deeper way within your global ecosystem. So what can be useful is to have a framework that fits with those needs. This framework has been developed by Facebook. It's called Pitch, Play, Plunge, and it's really efficient if you want to really leverage all the opportunities of the platform. So the pitch format is here to, yes, make it an immediate get to the many. It's a really short content, less than 15 seconds, if possible between 6 up to 8 seconds. And it's here to introduce a product or message, highlight something or demonstrate something in really direct and quick and hooking way, I will say. Play it more, make it interactive for the curious, and this definitely have a gamification approach to play with the pool, with the quiz, also for instance propose real game or VR or filters or lens, all those stuff that can be really playful for people. And for Plunge, it's really as the way you're going to deepen it, or you're going to partner it, or personalize it. It will be more, if we just talk about video, it will be longer format of video, but it will be, for instance, live video, which are really booming those days. It's really something that is definitely more deep, and you have the ability, yes, to really be immersed in the global brand universe. Today, with the new normal life, you have to adapt, of course, but you have to stay true to your value. So that's to say, you have to take actions that are on your brand and to make communication in tune with your customer values. And you have to be authentic. This is really, really important because this is the way people act, and this is what they are expecting from brands. And that's to say, you have to capture the reality and give it a human voice. The more you will be human, the more you will be authentic, the more efficient you're gonna be. Of course, you have also to adapt your hashtag strategy. And when we look at the different phases, we have an evolution of the different hashtags. So for instance, staying informed, it's about COVID-19, social distancing, quarantine, isolation, and now it's deconfinement. Staying positive, it's about staying at home, staying safe, be safe, stay positive. And you can still use that. Be safe, of course, is really important, but you have less to focus on stay at home for the moment, because you do, in the majority of the case, you don't have to stay at home, and we hope not to have to stay at home again. But it's also for business as usual. We are during summer. Let's talk about summer. It can be also some specific stuff like dogs of Instagram, cats of Instagram. We know that people love dogs and cats, so still relevant today. You have also the stuff regarding stay occupied, so activities at home, to exercise and stuff. Of course, it's still relevant today, even if we are supposed to stay, to have less time at home and more at work now. But you have also of course, one which is still key and important to work on is stay healthy, because of course it's still really important to protect ourselves and to keep the social distancing and to keep doing the key stuff to protect ourselves, our family, and our close people. So if we want in one way to summarize also how to be efficient, how to be effective today, first of all, you have to have effective creative and effective targeting who you want to talk to, and an effective timing, which is really, really important today. Now I'm going to share with you do's and don'ts, and I will start with do's and great example. And for don'ts, you will have. I try to provide you with more do's and don'ts in order to have a more positive, I would say, approach and attitude regarding that. So first do, provide purpose. It's really important today. Put your commercial message at the second place. A great example is, for instance, the campaign done by Canon, which was called First Hugs. So Canon launched a campaign that encouraged the share on social network of pictures of reunion just after the weeks of confinement. As you may see on those images, those are really emotional pictures. You feel all the emotion, all the love, this is really, really strong. But Canon just want to show what is the output of their products. They don't want to focus on the product itself. And so this is why this communication is really relevant, because people were willing and needed to see their family and to be able to hug them. And now it's now possible. So you just want, when you see that, you just want to have a Canon to be able to take those beautiful pictures. Another great example is Beobank, that has decided to launch a campaign to support local economy. And so they have developed content that engage people and ask them to support their local shops and local company. And so people were asked to tag their relevant shops and to support them. So it was really great, because people just want to make a good action, and it was easy to do so by just using a Facebook post or Instagram content. And what they did also is that they have supported 200 little companies in small businesses by providing them with Facebook content and a Facebook promoted campaign also for their small business. So really a great initiative from a bank. So don't sell anything. They don't are here to sell you bank products or services. They're just here to support local economy. Another do favor soft commercial communication through targeted media, that's the email, website, social network, but please avoid to refer negatively to the current situation. One great example is Chocomail. And so Chocomail play with its packaging to spread positive message, and they do it really in a great way. And it's really easy, really efficient, and really positive also. Another great example is something that have been developed by Mikado, who wants to position itself as the partner of Sari and TV moments. So they develop a spoiler blocker, and that enable people to surf on the web within the social network without being spoiled. And it's really a relevant way to push a message, but not push directly your product, but to be relevant and in a really easy and efficient way. Do reach out the previous and potential clients and let them know you are ready and prepared for their comeback. And it's really important to be useful and meaningful, of course. And one great example is a campaign and all the production that Eno has developed for the reopening of its store. The campaign is called "So Good to See You Again," so really positive. And so they have developed posters, stickers, in-store spots, and so on, to reassure on the safety and to provide customer but also employees with relevant information and also I would say to show them that they can come back because everything is okay on the sanitary side of the stuff. Do reassure a customer about hygiene, of course, from the supply chain to the point of delivery of products. And so it's really important to understand, yes, the concern of people and their fears. One great example is done by Brussels Airlines, with what they call a challenge in the air. And in fact, challenge in the air, they identified key concerns of people and just directly tackle it and create specific content.
We keep everything spick and span from top to bottom. You will always board on a fully disinfected aircraft. The love for our passengers has never shined so bright.
Another great example, of course, is Burger King, which always has a humorous tone, of course, and so is always really efficient. This is a TV spot that is broadcast today in France, but I thought it was really a great example.
Mesdames et messieurs, ici votre commandant de bord, ladies and gentlemen, Captain speaking. Bienvenue chez Le Roi Sandwich. Welcome to Burger King. Pour la sécurité de tous, merci de regarder le look-at-date. Tous les membres de l'équipage portent des masques certifiés qu'ils changent toutes les 4 heures. All the people is sporting mask on the visage, but not the Halloween. Dès votre arrivée à bord, l'équipage vous dirige vers les bornes. Équipage is burning to you. Nous ne désinfectons pas le matériel au lance-flammes. Non, non. Attention, no lance-fire. We use. Pchit, pchit. Mesdames et messieurs, merci de votre attention. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for écouting me. We wish you un bon repas et buenos días à todos. PNC aux caisses. Vérification de la borne opposée. Mesdames et messieurs.
Also do look toward the community spirit garnered during the COVID-19 crisis. Another great example is Brownies that have executed a campaign called Giants Take Action, and where people can nominate those who are helping others in their community, and those people are after featured in Brownie hats.
Walk with me, I'll walk with you. Down this road.
I'm just gonna do this every weekend because I'm not giving up.
We're all in this thing together. We're gonna make it through. You walk with me, I'll walk with you.
Do present your promotional offer as a solidarity effort towards your customer and local economy. A great example is for Heroes with the brand Chipotle. For every burrito purchase, Chipotle gives 1 to healthcare hero in order to support them in the tough period, but even after the big crisis of the tough period. As to say, not only during the peak, but it's still offering this kind of solidarity offers. Another great example, which is definitely linked to one of the insights that I gave you at the beginning, the fact that people need to have flexible offers and more financement offers, and so lots of car brands have developed a great, I would say, financial proposal. An example is Opel, who offer buy now and pay only after the summer. So they didn't produce specific content, they use an existing content and just add a pack shot on it. So not the best way to do it, definitely not the more social way to craft the content, but it's efficient, and at least the message is very positive. To show to all that all together we are stronger and determined enough to get through the crisis. One of the great examples is the campaign launched by Visit Brussels to support the reborn of Brussels and its local lives, as to say bar, restaurants, art, culture, and so on. And so they developed really a great campaign, which is called No Brussels Without Us, Visit Brussels, Visit Us. And it's really a great way to show that recovery, it's in fact the recovery of everybody, and that's to say it should be the action of everyone, and it's not about waiting for government and so on to do so, but it's by our personal actions that we can also have a positive impact on the recovery.
There's no Brussels without us. Our city is royal, like us. Daring, like us. Our city is unique, thanks to us. Visit us. There's no Brussels without us. Our city is royal, like us. Daring, like us. Our city is unique, thanks to us. Visit us. There's no Brussels without.
Anna, do introduce some new development you have been working on during the outbreak, and teach your clients how to use it. Of course, it can be applications that you have acquired, partner, or whatever. A great example is interactive queue. Telenet innovate by allowing everyone to live an experience through their own smartphone in the queue while respecting social distances. That's really important to have this kind of initiative. It's cool, it shows that you understand the new reality, but you understand that, of course, people have to do the queue, so you have to adapt to this and to provide and use technology, yes, to offer a new experience for people and a positive experience. Another great example, it's an initiative of 3 local brands of soda, and they created a common platform called belgiancraftdrinks.be, and they have decided to join their force to create a platform for those who are looking for quality and natural Belgium soda. We know that also local will be really important. People want to support local brands, want to eat local, to have also a direct impact on the local economy, but they want also to have healthy, good products, and so this is definitely a great initiative. Now let's talk about the don't. Please don't be opportunistic and not timely. For instance, any advisor will exploit the health message today and have a specific focus when the recommendations are already widely known to the public, will be considered as opportunistic. One example is McDonald's in Brazil. It has been accused of opportunism for creating a logo promoting social distancing. But why did they have been accused of opportunism? It's just because they don't do it the right time. They do it after months, and it was not relevant. At the beginning, it was relevant. For instance, Audi did it, and it was really great and well appreciated by the audience because it was done at the perfect time, at the right time. So timing is really, really important. Don't act like nothing is happening. Everything about our day-to-day life has changed, as mentioned and shared with you at the beginning of the presentation with the insight. 94% have changed their behavior. So definitely something has changed. You cannot act like if nothing is happening. Don't use the usual vocabulary and the usual visual. So visual where people are too close, or where you have crowded spaces or this kind of stuff, of course. But be careful also with the vocabulary. Using words like clean or flag or sanitize suddenly associate your brand language with something people are pretty negative about right now. So be careful with that. Don't forget to communicate with your staff and to connect people. It's really, really important. Of course, you have to communicate to your customers, but please don't forget your employee. They are really important. You have to engage them. You have to inform them, secure them, be sure that they are safe also. And definitely during the recovery phase, they need to be accompanied. They need to know what they can do, what they cannot do, and understand also where the company is going, how the vision and the mission of the company will be impacted by the COVID-19 crisis. And to end, don't let nothing stand between what's on people's minds and your answer. And that means that you have to be ready for conversation marketing. Social media is really, 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 really important today, of course. But when you look at social media ecosystem, we know that it's going to evolve to a more private, I would say, area ecosystem, and where messaging, app messaging, will have a critical place. And so you have to be ready for this evolution also of the global social media ecosystem, and also integrate the fact that people definitely are more using today messaging apps than they used to, and that they want and they are more open to directly connect with brand on those platforms. I hope you enjoyed that webinar, that you learned some stuff. I don't know if you have any question, feel free to ask through the chat, and I will answer.